My name is Tondaleya Shamley. I am a mother of two, of which my oldest has a daughter. So I'm also a G mom, a grandmother of a 7-month-old. I'm also married, and my husband is a truck driver, and we have a truck driving business as well. I am an advocate of fashion. I love fashion, beauty, retail, sales, and anything that have to do with fashion. I have over 45 years in the fashion and modeling industry. With that, I've held several positions within the industry, everything from runway modeling to editing, publishing style publications, and writing books about fashion. So I have an extensive background in fashion and modeling. So within the modeling industry, I have spent some time both as the participant, as the model, as well as the owner. I had a modeling agency in Germany, and there I worked with several European models to book them for events, activities, and gigs within the European area. As well as having an agency here in the US and working again with models and other talent, and it's been international models, where we were booking them to participate in not only modeling gigs, but also in other work that dealt with acting, promotions, advertising, product sales, and sampling within different industries in the US. One thing you have to keep in mind as a model and understanding what type of model that you are is to really look at yourself as, am I a commercial print model or am I a runway model? Those are the two main components. Then there are stem-offs from that may say you're a fit model or hand model or hair model, a feet model. There's so many different areas where one can get involved in the industry. There is no standard within the US right now. You can be a model if you do your research, you work with the right people, the right agencies, and the right companies that are looking for unique models. There are some international agencies that specifically stick to the modeling standards, which are 5'9" and over in height for women, 6 foot and over in height for men. Body type has a lot to do with weight and shape. So that's something that has to be determined by the agency. An agency can look at headshots, resumes, and other pictures and photos and determine whether a model is a great fit for that agency. As an agent myself, those things that I look for are the uniqueness of the person, their charisma, their ability to follow instructions, if they have the capability to act, because yes, acting is very important in fashion modeling. So that might be an area that a person would want to consider doing and learning in order to be successful in fashion modeling. The fashion industry in El Paso, I worked coming in, I worked with a local agency in training models on the runway for fashion shows. Unfortunately, in that time frame, the models I was training were never on the runway. There was no opportunity in El Paso for them to actually use the skills that I showed them. Their skills were used more so in what they learned in the beauty industry, meaning pageantry. But I have to make this very clear. Fashion modeling and pageantry are not the same thing. And I noticed a lot of that being intertwined in the El Paso area. That's not going to get a fashion model a foot in the door in the industry for commercial prints, runway. Being in a pageant or being a pageant person is not going to get you a job as a fashion model. That on your resume is not going to get you a job as a fashion model. What the industry is looking for, if we go back to the business of fashion modeling, and we go back to those components of being the consumer, the circle of retail, and being the model, you have to be able to project the image that they need to sell a product. That is the bottom line. So within the industry in El Paso, that is not being done. There is no opportunities to sell a product. The industry also in El Paso is limited. It's limited on the opportunities that a fashion model can complete in a manner of which they will get paid. If an agency requires that you pay a fee, whether it's in training, pictures, to go to a gig, anything like that, that is not a true modeling agency. A true modeling agency does not require that you pay a fee to be part of the agency. As an agent, and I would search and seek out good talent. The talent that I would seek, I knew was going to be profitable to me. So therefore, they would not have to pay a fee to be part of my agency. They would not have to get their own pictures to be part of the agency. I would then pay for that person to get pictures taken, to go to different events, whether it was that they had to drive their own vehicle or what have you, per diem. I would make sure that all of that was covered because I knew that that model would become a working model. Also, when you think about being a fashion model with an agency, you should have an agreement, a contract that has been viewed by an attorney, and make sure that you understand every aspect of that contract and agreement. If you do not get clarification from the person that is providing you with that contract, in most modeling contracts, you're either exclusive or non-exclusive. If someone has you exclusively working with them, then you cannot take on other assignments outside of that agency. If you are non-exclusive and you can take on gigs and other assignments outside of the agency, then you will see that in your agreement. However, if you are exclusive, you should be getting paid a set percentage for every job that you take. Every gig that you do, you should be getting a percentage of the payout for that gig. I really enjoyed working with models within the industry in El Paso, but I noticed that many were uninformed. And I really wish that the state of Texas did not get rid of the licensing regulation for certification of modeling agencies. It's a disadvantage for fashion models because any agency can open up and really take advantage of a model and not be regulated on the things that they are doing illegally. So I'm looking forward to meeting you and many others in October for the upcoming live Zoom session with myself that's being hosted by Mocha Enterprises to further discuss the opportunities in the fashion and modeling industries. The business of fashion has a circle and connection between the retailers, the businesses, and the models. That connection, that circle is continuous because the retailers have a product that they want to sell. They're going to first work with the production of the product, and they're going to look at who is going to buy that product, who is their consumer. Then the consumer, the ideal consumer, is transposed into a model. It's just as simple as that. The model then presents the product as the consumer would like it to be advertised, and the process starts all over again. But this is the way that retail really comes full circle from working with the consumer who needs the model to be able to really get product sales. Fashion merchandising also includes the area of now, which is more relevant to today's industry, is fashion blogging. That is one of the areas that I've taken from my love for writing and my love for fashion and put them together. So it also includes the area of advertising, marketing. A lot of times you see influencers on social media. All of that is the same area of fashion merchandising and includes additional areas that a person that's interested in being in that industry or having that as a degree program can also look into. Fashion blogging is really big in the industry. Companies are using that to really, really advertise and market their products and services because it is a better means of reaching their target market. So if you're interested in working and partnering with companies, that's the avenue to go. Fashion merchandising in the area of retail has the components of retail sales associate, retail sales manager, both regional and local, and then as well as to the area of becoming a buyer. A buyer is someone who works specifically for a company to target the upcoming trends that will be sold within the retail market. So a fashion buyer is another area that can be pursued as a career. You do have to kind of start at the bottom and work your way up. And when I say at the bottom, you're starting into retail sales, but that's just an opportunity for you to learn as much as you can about the baseline of retail before becoming a buyer and being able to really target out that market where the products that you select are put in the stores and sold to increase profits and profitability for the retail business. So if you are a fashion buyer, you will spend your day attending fashion events, going to show houses, showrooms, and actually looking at what are those things that are going to sell for the upcoming season. And normally that is a season ahead. You're looking at either fall and winter or spring and summer. So as a buyer, you have to know how to forecast and project those trends that are going to come up for a season in the future. So a fashion merchandiser may also be someone that forecasts fashion, forecast those things such as color, texture, style. There's a lot of work that's put into forecasting because you have to be able to research. Research comes from the past. Let me say that again. Research comes from the past. And why? Because fashion repeats itself. So when we look at what's trending, what's forecasting, and what is up to come up in the next seasons, we are looking at what has already happened, what at this time, what has already been a trend. You will see things repeat. It may be a few years in between, but it's going to come back around. So the research starts with identifying those trends that are going to come back into season. And then they come back with a little twist. They may be a different texture, a different correlation of colors, a different fit style. And when I say fit style, fashion goes by the body type. It goes along with the body type. It goes along with different designs, should I say. So a fashion merchandiser does become somewhat of a forecaster by doing that research and understanding what direction fashion is going in, which they can do by looking at the past. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak with you today, and I look forward to speaking to you in the future in October. I also want to give a thank you out to Brandy and Fly Fashion Week, which has brought me in to collaborate with the industry there in El Paso, models and production. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of you who will be at Fly Fashion Week coming up. Be there. The signature fashion show is on Sunday, so make sure that you're there.